YouTube family, I'm back at you like I'm mad at you. Family, I gotta share this thought process, something that's coming to my mind that I think is not a coincidence, right? How the Bible says it's impossible to please God without faith, right? And for many of us, especially those of a colored skin tone, right? Not just the colored folk, but especially those of us who come from a certain environment, right? Or a certain background. It's like the very thing that it takes to please God, faith, believing in your heart, believing in yourself, right? And in your heart of what you're capable of, what you can be, what you can do. It's like that very thing we, as a sport, it's like we tear it down. You see what I'm saying? It's in our music. Some people it's in their swagger, right? You know what I'm saying? The very thing that's very significant to the Most High, sovereign power through the universe, we like a sport tear it down in every way. See what I'm saying? It's some people's style to tear other people's down. You see what I'm saying? And this just don't include no, you know, the scriptures. This has everything to do with even those who are into law of attraction, right? Things like that, manifesting, right? Because if you know anything about that, you know it also deals with your energy, the heart, right? Your belief, the mind, your thoughts, the same thing. What you believe in your heart is your thought and your mind coming together, right? We talked about that in the last video, what love is. And it's like, when I think about it, I don't think that's no coincidence how we be, when you look at the conditions and the environments and even the family setting, right? The home setting, all of those things, you know what I'm saying? It's no coincidence when people say, how can God let us, this happen? Why are we going through this? Right? In the Bible, it was insinuating that God did this to a people because they were being hard headed, complaining, whatever, right? The 440 days turned to 40 years, whatever those things insinuate. Anytime you're talking about God, you have to realize you're talking about the God in us, being a whole body, family, a spirit body. So look at that parallel in how literally when you see what the conditions we're in, but it is a practice for many, right? Not every single person, obviously, but I'm talking about it's in the culture, tearing people down, being so competitive to the point where it turns into actually going after each other's faith, going after what someone believes about or believes in themselves about. You see what I'm saying? Any little thing somebody could be doing well in any area, in any little thing, and they could be being lied on, right? As far as different, celebrities, not all of them, but any little thing is like, yep, see, I knew it. You know what I'm saying? We go right to tear them down. It's like you are crucifying the Christ yourself. I just think it's very significant, family, that the very thing that connects us to God, belief in ourselves, believing in our hearts, right? Having faith, right? Even for those of you who into the universe, that very thing that connects you to the universe, how is it that we just coincidentally, like a sport, in, antagonize and tear each other down like it's a chore, like it's a hobby. And for those of you that are the exception, those of you are the exception are the exception. But I'm talking about a cultural thing, something that's in the music, something that's in the society, in the neighborhoods. It's in the it's in the seasoning. You see what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I just think that's very significant, especially when you look at what the people been through. When you talk about slavery, when you think about all those things, the history of slavery and so forth, and it's said to be something like God did that or allowed that, and you have to understand it's, you know what I'm saying, no man can receive anything unless given to him in heaven first. So if God allows something, it had to be something that we allow within ourselves first. Understand that. You know, when the Bible talk about no man can, we can't grow, make anybody else grow. All we can do is plant the soil. I mean, water the soil and you know, cultivate the soil or something like that. It is God who grows a thing. That's talking about. That's when only that person, only that man or woman, pardon me. That's when only that man or woman can do it. That's when that means only that man and that woman and God, right? And the Spirit of God can do that. That means this when it says only God can remove a veil and so forth. That means something has to happen within that man or woman. Yes, that's what that means. People don't get off drugs because they went to rehab and somebody else told them to. They get off drugs when they get tired of it, when they make up their mind. See what I'm saying? When I said the mind is the decision maker, it's like, you know, that's why we say I've made up my mind. You know what I mean? That's what it means that no man can grow it. Only God can do this because that man or woman something has to happen on the inside of them to allow that transformation, family. I just think it's very significant that faith is so significant. And that's the very thing that we go out, especially with the social media now. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain kind of people out there that love them comments. And yes, other people's, all kind of different people involved. But they love them comment sections. Love trolling and tearing people down all day long. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about that? Let me know. I think it's very significant because, you know, in the system that we dealing with, you know, talking about where is God? Is he real? Is this, that, whatever the case may be. But the very thing that we sport is going after each other's faith. That might have a lot to do with the 400 years, family. And I'm not even saying that literally. I mean, even conceptually speaking, that might have a lot to do with the slave conditions and how this happened. Because if we had so much power at a certain point, right? If everything go back to a certain people originally, what happened then? If the body is to be torn down, it always gonna happen internally. If you get scratched, shot, whatever, it's not what happened on the surface of the body that breaks the body down, but it's what's happening internally that breaks the body down. The same way to build the body back up. It always is an internal thing. So even if we were kings, queens, and all these other things, it had to be something internal that happened, family. If we had all this power, all these, you know, all this knowledge and wisdom and the original gods and kings and all this, then what happened? You can't tell me somebody just came over, colonized you, and just took it like that. What happened? It had to be something internal. Same way the body is built up, same way it's torn down. So I just think tearing down each other's faith, I don't know if that's no coincidence, family, that's just something that we happen to sport in our music, in movies, the titles and the things that we want to be, like a bad bitch, a gangster. All these things are taking on characters that aim to be better or to say that to insinuate or to state that they're better than the next man or woman in some form or fashion. Listen to the lyrics. Pay attention to the swagger. Pay attention to it. It's not just mere confidence. It turned into poison. But I'm a product of that environment as well. I've been also had my share of indulging. I just want y'all to think about that. Tell me what you think about that. I think that's very significant. Because we got a video coming up. You know what I'm saying? Finna get to this whole Antichrist talk and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Got a video coming up touching on specifically who and what the Antichrist is, family. Very significant. The very thing that pleases the Most High, sovereign power, authority of the universe, is the very thing that we sport against in so many different ways. To the next video, family. Peace, positivity, optimism, power, and abundance. Water.